Welcome to the Circle of Grace One. I'm your host, Chief Principal Teacher and Founder, Brother Francis Z. Revels-Bey. The Circle of Grace One was founded on July 2nd, 1999 AD, under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence. It gave birth to his very own spiritual and metaphysical institute called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance on February the 7th, 2009. Of course, as I always say, I'm the host, Chief Principal Teacher, Founder, and Bishop of both. Thank you for joining me this evening. This is going to be a very short program. It's called The First Letter. And what I mean by that is the first letter in the first name. Everybody has a first name. But sometimes people just use one name. People who are into theater or movie, film industry, acting, sometimes they go by one name. Sometimes they change their names. I'm going to give you a little insight on the first letter of any name that you see that a person has. Now, this will be good for you to know. Some of this information, I have some very brief notes. Some of it is just channeled information that will come to me from the Angel of Grace to you. So listen very carefully. Now, you'll be able to replay this program back here for about a month, or better yet, about an hour later after the program is done, 20 to 30 minutes later, the program gets uploaded to my Circle of Grace 1 channel over at YouTube. So if you're a friend of me over at Facebook, look on my timeline page for the special link that will take you to this particular program tonight. It's only going to be a short one right here at ustream.tv, broadcasting, video streaming live. Before I do that, let me open up with a prayer. Through divine power and by divine grace, may all of you who get a chance to watch this show live this evening, may you be blessed by it in more ways than one. Those of you who see it in its recorded format later, may it do the same for you. But most of all, may you be open to new wisdoms and new understandings that come into your life that can change you from being in a rut to being in a place where you're in constant motion, where you feel better about yourself, better about your life, better about those in your life, but most of all, getting a better sense of peace of mind for you. Amen. And so shall it be. Amen. Ra. And may all the be blessings there be for you. Today's date is July 28th, 2014. So when you see this here at Ustream, .tv in the archives, you're going to look for Circle of Grace 1 underscore the first, which I spell out the word, the first letter, underscore 7282014. This will also be the same title link that you will find in my YouTube channel page for the Circle of Grace 1 as well. So let's get ready with this, jump right into it so that you get this information now. One of the things I want to point out to you when we go into this is that I'm going to give some keywords or key phrases to each one of the letters from A to Z. I may also speak of the numbers that are there as well so that you can receive that information equally. Also, what I want to be able to share with you is this information where you feel blessed in more ways than one, with a tad of numerology sprinkled into this. I'm going to use the Chaldean system of numerology with these letters so that you get that. And I might also bring it out to you in a very symbolic way too, by the shape of the letter. But I want you to listen very carefully, watch very carefully, and take notes. If you want to be in touch with me, you can always email me at any one of these three email addresses that I'm going to give you right now. The first one is IAM, the letters IAM, lowercase, dot, Circle of Grace, with the number one at the end, at yahoo.com. That's IAM, dot, which is a period, Circle of Grace, with the number one at the end, at yahoo.com. Or you can also email me at IAM, dot, Circle of Grace 1 at gmail.com, or Bishop Francis, that's BISHOP at circleofgrace1.net. And that's the three ways in which you could contact by email. You can also go to the web page, http:// www.circleofgrace1.net or just type in http://circleofgrace1.net. You can Skype me. I'm on Skype if we're under the same contact list. My Skype number, though, you can call direct is 973-685-5978. The Skype number is 973-685-5978. If you want to call my spiritual prayer decree request line, meditational decree, just call 505-717-4722. That's 505-717-4722. Area code 505 was for the state of New Mexico, where I am right now. Well, let's get started here. Now, I could use the Kabbalistic format of this, but I want to keep it more simplified so you can get this information and receive it right away. Now, I'm also feeling the angel of grace and my ancestors want to give out colors and gemstones. So as it comes to me, I'm going to do that. Also, that means most of the time, sometimes there are musical tones that could go with these letters. Now, there might be different musical tones according to different systems. Even with the colors, with the rainbow chakra Western system or the Vedic system, the Hindu system of the chakras having different colors. So I'm going to give you according to the rainbow chakra system also as it comes to me. So you're going to get numbers connected to these first letters for the first name or a person carrying just one name. You're also going to get a color that will come with it. You also will get a gemstone that will come with it, that or maybe one or two gemstones. So these are the things I want you to pay attention to that you could use as contact points for yourself to raise your own energy. So let's get started right now. Anybody with the first letter A, A kind of represents all the four elements, including the ethers. It represents fire, air, water, earth. It represents a sense of unification, perfection, all to itself. And here, the message that I got for many of you is take care of yourself. You got that letter A, take care of yourself. You know, you're going to be inquisitive about your own life as to what's going on. It says here, by it being the first letter in your name, that the foundation, the way you kind of approach life, is to check everything out. And at the same time, to feel more independent of others. And then your emotional response, if someone was to ask you a question, well, you have that strong will energy, and you're really going to be more protective of yourself before you release any personal information. So the nature that I'm getting here with the letter A represents a composite, a combination of fire, air, water, and earth. So you can use those as touch points. Fire, air, water, and earth, and then spirit or ether. So you want to feel close to those elements. So that's giving you 5 elements instead of 4. Now also what I want to tell you and share with you is the spirit wants me to tell you to use the color vibration of blue. Use that color vibration of blue. It could be a cobalt blue. It could be a pastel blue. It could be a navy blue, but I would refrain from darker colors and sit within the pastel shades or iridescent shades of blue. That would be very comparable to your spirit at this time. Also, letter A is 1. So 1 is self, 1 is being independent, 1 is being the director, 1 being the organizer, creative director, creative leader. Okay, ones like to understand how the nature of things work. So they're looking at how the law behind the universal law vibration behind everything works. If you're one who works in a lawyer's office, then you want to really tighten up on what you understand about legal clauses and statements, legal contracts and agreements, treaties, things of that nature. You want to make sure you understand how all of those things come together and how they can work for your client or for your colleague or even for yourself. So we get that sky blue here with the letter A. Think of A as air or artistic quality. So it can be, shooting toward the mental nature, but you want to keep the emotional, sensitive, creative nature in place if you have the first letter A. And also, those of you that carry the first letter A, don't be eager to show fire. If you don't agree with something, don't just blast out with a fiery temperament. You must want to listen very clearly and keep your heart and your mind open so that you're receiving the information and not feeling like you're under assault. Everything that happens to you is not meaning for you to take it up as though you're under assault, because you're not. Whatever is happening to you, and this is what we're all getting in this fifth dimensional consciousness, what has been happening to us is really happening for us. To There's a feeling of unraveling of the outer shell so that we can get to our core side of our nature, or the strongest side of ourselves. And it says to build up that core, just like athletes build up the abdominal, the midsection, the mid core of their body, so they can have their back strengthened, have their legs strengthened. They can move around better. They can move the entire body with more speed and more depth. So it's the same way with the letter A. People who have that name. You want to think about yourself, but think about yourself in terms of being a creative leader, creative organizer, creative director, which also means you're going to be a team player, not just out in front. Those of you who carry the first letter B, B as in boy, as in Barbara, as in Betty, as in Benjamin, and other Barry. Those of you who carry that first letter B in that name, in the first name that you carry, you get the nature of the two. So the two is birthing a new you through partnerships, arrangements. You might be co-parenting. You might be involved in a relationship that could be just in its earliest stages, but you are more stages that are more in depth and longer, long-term relationship. The letter B is very good at bringing people together. The letter B is very good at finding how to connect with others. The letter B is very good at establishing growth periods for itself. So it's very important, if you carry this name, B, the letter B, that means you're about growth, you're about birth, you're about regeneration or generating ideas, you're about rejuvenation, but it's birthing the new you. Now, also fear here with the letter B. When I think of the letter B, I think of like the birch tree. I think of bone colors, bone white kind of colors. I think of colors like that. But if you're dealing with also growth and rebirth, I kind of connect you to like a grassy green shade. Now, that's not necessarily on the Kabbalistic side, the color that fits with that. But in this sense that I'm receiving it, I keep seeing grass. Every time I focus in on the letter B, I see seedlings, I see roots, I see foundations, I see trees that are huge with deep, big, thick roots going into the earth. So that's what I'm seeing. If you're carrying the letter B for Barbara, for Betty, for Beatrice, for Beverly, for Brian, Barry, and so forth, then I feel like you should tune in to these touch points. Grass, a grassy green color, the thick roots of a tree, the seedlings, the seeds. Tune into those things. Symbolically, how it can move for you. Also got saving energy, and I got the symbol of a squirrel packing acorns into the ground for the fall and in the winter, and then digging them up in the springtime. So I see the letter B as springing forward for yourself in life. Those of you who have the letter C as the first name, well, this is a very magnetic letter. Think of it like a horseshoe. If you take the C that's open this way, I'm drawing it to you. So you do it this way, creating the C. So as we create that C, and if you were to turn that C over like this, or like that, well, better this way, think of this being the letter C, it would be more like a horseshoe. And a horseshoe is magnetic. It's like an archway. It's bringing something in and also carrying something out. So those were the people with the letter C, like Charles, Connie, okay, Carol, Carolyn. You have the ability to draw things into your life and let things out of your life. If you take the C and turn it so the curved part is down, it's like the letter U. That means you can gather. You're a gatherer of energy and information. So you want to be aware of that. So for the letter C people, be creative, openly creative and magnetic. Know that you can draw things into your life and you could share with others. You're able to capture. Think the letter C is capturing energy, cupping energy, and then turning that cup over and let it what nourish its environment. And it's the letter 3, so that makes it very creative. See people. People would see you're talkative. You can communicate freely with other people. You like sharing ideas, all kind of ideas, methods, plans. See people they can be independent, but they like working with others. They have a fiery temperament. They're very outgoing. So, they like to get a lot of things done. These are people who carry the first letter as C. Those of you who carry the first letter, D, as in David, are very strong-willed people, but you have the ability, like the letter A, you capture the 4 elements: fire, air, water, and earth. You're like the foundation of the pyramidal energy, the fire energy, the divine fiat energy. You're at the bottom, but you're the foundation of that energy, and you're also able to distribute energy. So D's are distributors, and D's are gateways and doorways. These are gateways and doorways to new beginnings. Just like the C can be the arch in the archway, the letter D likes to capture and develop. D people capture and develop. They receive, they hold, they birth it, right? They take it in like in the incubation stage and then they release it. So D people can share. They have a strong background, a strong foundation, and very upright when they're talking and dealing with other people in most cases. So if you have the letter D as the first name, know that you take the initiative to open doors. You take the initiative to be the gateway. You take the initiative to take in that information, hold it. Think of the D like the woman being pregnant, okay? Carrying the babies, carrying the ideas, and then opens up and releases. This is also good for people who carry the letter D to know that not only are they the doorway, but they understand the various processes that are going around themselves in terms of making proper decisions, dealing with everybody in their life properly, exchanging energy as well. So these have that ability to do that. If you carry the letter E as the first name, E is effervescent, excitable energy, movement, electricity. Think of E as electricity, okay, issuing energy, excitement. But E is also conscious memory, the ability to remember something. So E personalities are outgoing. They like to communicate. They like to share ideas. They love to be jovial. They see themselves as stately personalities at the same time. Okay, now people might say, well, E is also ego. All right, well, E can be ego, but it can be the impersonal ego. That means you have the ability to let your ego blend in with the divine aspect, with the divine archetype energies, and then rise right up the ladder. So see E as energetic, see it as communication, especially freedom of communication, freedom of speech, freedom of movement. Anybody with E's in their name, they don't like to be hemmed in. Whether the E is at the end of the name, in the middle of the name, or at the beginning of the name, they don't like to be hemmed in. They speak their mind freely. So see that people with the first letter, which is E, they speak their mind freely. They're not afraid to say what's on their mind. So people might ask, well, what if my middle name is an E? Then I would suggest that you draw on that quality. Draw on that quality of E being a middle initial. E being, because if it's your middle name where the E starts, that's a bridge to and from. Where is it going to? It's going to you, the individual, the first name, the individual name. Where is it coming from? It's coming from the family name. So the bridge is in the middle, and the family name is here, and your given name is here. So you're traveling from the family name, which is a group or collective influence, through the bridge of who you are to get to being more of the individual. So that's what you want to realize that you have going for you. So your letter E, you're going to ask a lot of questions. If you don't, if someone asks you a lot of questions, you're going to find the answers to those questions. So now we go to uh, also, I want to say something about feeling life. Get in touch with the spirit of life if you have the letter E. Because if you're very outgoing and you like to share concepts and ideas, you want to be physical, physically in touch with life. So go out and dance. If you don't dance, go sit around and just chit chat with people. If you don't do that, get yourself in the midst of the energy and feel what you need to feel and then move on. Those of you who have the letter F, be truth. Allow yourself to align and attune to truth, the principle of truth, the virtues of truth. Also know that you have to develop a warm nature. Now, F means that people like to, I can put it this way. You are have a tendency to fight for the underdog, whether they come through family situations or political situations, governmental situations, social situations. You have this ability to do this. You are family oriented. You're not one who finds themselves without a relationship. If you are, you find yourself having, I would call it the motley crew. You have various people from various walks of life who are a part of your life, and you are a part of their life. So that's very, very important, something that you want to be fully aware of. So think of F as being fully aware of. Think of F as flowing energy, flowing spirit, flowing ki and chi energy going out into the universe. This is something that you want to be quite aware of. Now think of F also, there's a runic symbol. If I can draw it backwards, it has a vertical line, and then it has a vertical line. Let me go to this side of myself. It has a vertical line. Okay, so it's going from top to bottom, and then what it has, go this way, it has two lines that come out of it on an angle. So the two lines that come out of it go this way, two lines that come out of it on an angle, and if I could make it better for you, if I can draw it on here, the letter F has these two lines in the runic symbols. Maybe you can see this. And this usually represents good fortune, money coming your way. So F, the letter F, under the Chaldean numerology, the letter F gets the value of 8, which deals with money, but big, big concepts of finance. And then if it's under the modern system or Moorish modern system, it's a 6 vibration, so it's Venusian. So it has a Saturn under the Chaldean vibration as 8, and under the modern Moorish method it has 6. The 6 is Venus. Now both of those deal with material essences. 6 can deal with the luxuries of things. Now, if I put those two numbers together, it's going to produce a 14, which is a Sag, which means it's to use temperance and moderation at every turn in your life so that you're not overwhelmed by finances, be it large finances or restrictive finances. So it's important for the people with the letter F to learn how to work with the flow of cash that comes to them, which means that sometimes you get it, sometimes it escapes you, sometimes it's coming to you too slowly. So you have to develop the rhythm or the understand the nature of money. So one of the things you understand is sometimes money is called what? Currency. So that means it's always in motion. You don't want to really hold on to the finances. You want to keep that finance in circulation. You save it for a while, but then you put it back into circulation. Why? If you don't, even if you're a gazillionaire, you don't want to hold on to that much money. Why? Because then what happens is you can become miserly with the money, and you might wind up wasting the money, or you might attract a certain mentality where people want to take it from you. It could happen through bad investments or listening to the wrong people or making the wrong decisions. So the best way to do it, especially if you have large sums of money, is keep money in circulation. Keep some percentage of it in circulation. Give it to others so that they can live out their dreams so they can feel a sense of satisfaction in their life. Keep it flowing. Keep the energy flowing. That's what you want to do. So keep the letter F as flow, in the flow, being in the flow, being in rhythm, having cadence, paying attention to the heartbeat, paying attention to the rhythm of other people. This helps you out. So be truthful, be warm, be loving and kind, and be generous. So if you're being generous, then abundance comes to you. And then you prosper all the time if you have the letter F. Here's another one. The letter G is usually generosity and grace. It also giving. But if you're the giver, it also means you're receiving. Okay? So think of the letter G as a C. You have a little T bar in there. So that means you're not here to take a test. You're here to overcome any form of restrictions and limitations if you have the letter G. Think of people with the name Grace, Glen. That means someone with a lot of depth. Glen, like valleys and dens and gardens. So think of that. Gloria, light, glorious light, light, beauty, harm, happiness. The letter G could get that grassy green color, and the letter F can get an orange kind of color to it, but I see like gold coming along with that, and a very beautiful purple light coming with those people having the F, gold and purple. Gold, green, and purple with F. And then the letter G getting the blues and the green colors with gold connected to it. So that you can produce that sense of prosperity, abundance, wealth, grace, generosity, and giving. Gratitude. Those are all there. The letter H. This is breathing and feeling. Breath, air. Think of the letter H like a ladder. Going up a ladder, a sturdy ladder, is bringing two vertical poles together. It's bringing the divine masculine together with divine feminine energy. So they meet in the middle and have balance. Okay, so think of the letter H as aspirations, because when you say H, you say ha, right? You say home, we got that outgoing energy attached to it. So the letter H is a very powerful letter all into itself. So I want you to use, when you're dealing with the letter H, you want to deal with sturdy colors. You want to deal with the browns and the black vibrations to give you strength. Okay, and then top it off with a light blue. So you get that airy sense. A light green, a mint green, a sage green, a moss green, an olive green. These are just colors that are coming to my mind for you to be able to utilize at this time. And this is going to be very helpful for you, those of you that happen to be tuning in live right now or see it in a recorded format. These are things that are just coming up for me to tell you to utilize. So we've covered right now, we've gone up to the letter H. Now H in the Chaldean system gets 5, so that deals with changes, swift changes. Under the modern system it gets 8, which means to be solid. Okay, to be solid, that's very, very important with the letter H under the Chaldean, under the modern Moorish system. Okay, I'm gonna back up to the letter G. The G under the modern system of numerology gets 7. So see, 7 in divine wisdom quality, and I gave you purple, I gave you gold, and I also gave you green with the letter G. Under the Chaldean system, it is the number 3. So you gain the number 3 with the letter G. So that's creativity. So think of the G as being related to the C. C and G personalities can attract strong situations, attract because they got a creative flow going, and they're very sensitive to feeling. Now those of you who have the letter I, man, are you powerful. The letter I, you get under the modern system 9, which is a Mars quality. So there's a tendency to be the natural warrior. Well, you can get under the Chaldean system the value of 1. You can make distinctive good leaders. So people that have those names, Ira, Ivan, Isham, Ishmael, it goes on and on and on. Irving, Irwin, These are people who become natural leaders, natural fighters. Now think of the letter I, though. It's very interesting. It's a vertical line. It's a vertical line with a horizontal line at the top that touches it, and at the bottom there's a horizontal line that touches the base of that vertical line. So what would that be denoting to you? If you were to turn that on its side, you get the letter H. It's connected. H and I go together, like high. Okay, HI. But you keep it where the vertical stem attaches in 90-degree angle, attaches into the earth plane. So it talks about perpendiculars, right angles, doing things correctly, standing on a principle. Then it's connected at the top like a T. T like Thomas, Teresa, TH Teresa, TE Teresa is there as well. Tremaine, Trudy, those T sounds. See, so the I is denoting the T at the same time and an H at the same time. But look at the I as being the spine. So there's your crown chakra in the top of your head is connecting you to the universe, and your feet and your spine, the soles of your earth, soles of your feet and the spine are connecting you to what? It's connecting you to that firm foundation of the earth. So you're walking between heaven and earth. You're walking between heaven and earth when you've got the letter I. So I is very powerful. It's the spine. It's the Kundalini energy wrapping around the spine. So think of the letter I as a person here having dynamic energy. That means you work with force, you work with power, but power is the result of force. So you work with the force, which is the spirit itself. The letter J also gets the value of 1 and is also gets the value of 10. Under the modern system, 10th value. Under the Chaldean system, 1 vibration. So be just with yourself and others. The letter J, you're setting up new vibrations all the time. New vibrations for everybody to connect with. The letter K, you get the 11th letter, being virtuous, being the visionary, being the dreamer. Under the Chaldean system, it's 2. So it's being virtuous and being real, being looking at the reality of things going on around yourself. The people that do that are the individuals that can carry the name Karen, Karin. Okay, Karen. Then there's also Keith, Keith. These are individuals like this who can carry that. Kareem. These are people that carry that letter and they're sticking to their guns, sticking to their principles, sticking to their foundations, sticking to their principles, which then turn into virtues. So that's what the letter K is. Think of the letter K as being 2 V's on an angle. One is capturing energy and then releasing energy. So that's one of the things. The letter K captures, receives, and releases or shares energy. So you might say the water, the principal energy of water and what that does, the clarity of one's emotions, purification of one's feelings and thoughts. Here the letter L gets the vibration of 3, just like K gets the 2 vibration or 11 vibration, still a 2. The letter L is also another magnetic quality. It's part of what? That, like say, that letter I, which then had that horizontal line coming down. So if you had that horizontal line there connected to the vertical line, when you look at it just right, you'll see a 90-degree angle to your right at the base. So letter L people are upstanding individuals. They strive to be that. They may go into the fields of law also as well, but they would be creative with law. So you might look at those individuals in the entertainment field. They could be entertainment lawyers. They might be athletic agents. They again, the letter L, like the letter C, is magnetic. It has the ability to draw people to oneself and then state the principle, state the deal, state the reality. So that's very, very important. L's are very good at relying on themselves. They want to feel connected to the divine, and they definitely want to be connected to the earth plane. So they're striving, as much as they are being creative. L personalities are striving to do what? To be down to earth. The letter M. M are the nurturers of the alphabet. They like to give, but they're pretty much like the letter B. They like to see growth. They like to see things being attracted to themselves. So they see that like the letter C and the letter L. Okay? Now, M is also like the letter D. It has the value of 4. So when you meet a person with the vibration, the first letter of M, they are a gatherer. M like a mountain. See it like a mountain. It's like the W inverted. W personalities can be nurturers, but they're really on the receiving end. They're on the receiving end and an electrical end at the same time, like a wave. The people, the letter M, they're the underside of that wave. They're like the reflective, the opposite. But what happens is the M people love to nurture. These are the mothers of the alphabet. So think of people that you know: Marjorie, Marlene, Matthew, Monty, Manuel, Maurice, Morris. They're givers. They're strong natured individuals. Marie and Maria. These are individuals who have a strong connection. Marilyn. They feel strength. But if it's an MA, it's Ma sound. What a contraction of mom, a contraction of mother. When it's a ME or MO, there's going to be more of a tendency to be more out and about. Not that the person is not a nurturer, but they just feel like they have to be out there giving more to receive more. With those who have the MA value there, they don't mind giving. They just have to learn how to get back for themselves. So you hear the letter M is a 4 value. Under the modern system is a 13. 13 is not an unlucky number. It's the ability to understand the power, how to use power in the right manner, how not to abuse power, how not to abuse one's authority, one's position, how not to abuse one's title. So you might find people who are in very good positions where they can be protective and nurturing. So there's a sense of trust that goes there. Well, I see this letter M, since it's a nurturing vibration, I see an earthy quality going with it. And I see like being told to tell you something like a golden brown or a sunburst kind of brown and gold coming together, seeing the sun rays shooting out of it. I'm being also told to tell you the silver and gold quality being there along with the earth. Silver and gold, so that lunar energy being there, like moon, lunar energy, along with the earth energy, so the mothering tones coming together. So I see blacks and greens. I see forest green colors. Again, that sunburst, beautiful sunburst. Spirit's telling me sunburst orange is in there too. It's such a color, sunburst orange. So seeing all the gold running through the orange as well, that will help give you that. Also, Spirit is showing a sunrise and a sunset to me. So those of you who know people with the letter M have a lot of energy from sunrise to sunset. These people need a lot of rest. If you have the letter N as the first name, starting your name up out, so like Nathaniel or Nancy, or who would be also coming under that? Napoleon, like my brother, Napoleon. So your energy deals with transition stages. Your energy can deal with change. Your energy deals with energy itself, the movement of that energy, but mainly change and transition, going from one moment to the next. That's also very, very important to get that and to see that. The N is half of an M. So you can see N's can be nurturing if they want to, but most aren't. because they're dealing with a lot of energy, so they're coming and going. N vibration, like M, can deal with music, things that give sound and feeling, but N is going to do it more from the mental nature, where M is going to do it right in the heart, in the earth, being together, listening to the rhythm of the heart, listening to the rhythm of the earth. That's what M vibration is going to do. N vibration is going to deal with the blue range of colors, but stepping more like cobalt blues, ultramarine blues is going to deal with grayish blue energy, which can be electric, going almost heading toward electrical blue, silver blue energy, and then navy energy. So sometimes that end is going to deal with the darker side of energy. It doesn't necessarily mean negative. It just deals with a lower vibration, or a more earthy, connected to the earth, slowing down, more physical. That's what I want to do, more physical energy. So the letter N gets 5. And if you have this letter N, you can handle transitions with ease in most cases. Now, it depends on what would follow that. At a later date, we'll do letters that follow, like vowels and so forth, so you can get a strong feeling of what that means. Now, we've got just a few more letters here left, so we got about 12 more I want to touch upon. And again, I'm just giving you a basic analysis, a way in which you can kind of tune in to how this fits with you. What if you are a person carrying the letter O as a first name? Well, you're considered to be whole and complete. You are attracted to water energy that is flowing around you. So your emotions, you might be one who can sit on your emotions a little bit, but eventually they come out. Eventually you express them. People with the letter O are dealing with cycles of energy, cycles of things. So like you're paying attention to the 4 seasons. If you're following feng shui, you're paying attention to the 5 elements that you're dealing with. So you're dealing with the wood, you're dealing with the metal, you're dealing with the fire, you're dealing with the water, and you're dealing with the earth energy. So you're paying attention to all of that. You're just not singling out one. You're paying attention to all. So the nature of O should be more just when you're dealing with others, a sense of justness, being correct, but being polite, being faithful, but being patient, going with the flow, seeing the cycles of things, seeing the nature of life, and personalities of people that are around. That's essential with the letter O. Under the modern system, it gets the number 6, so it's a family-oriented number. Under the Chaldean, it gets the number 7, so it's the family of self. Is really delving deep inside of oneself to try to get the answer, and then realize one is connected to the divine source in the heavens and in the earth. The letter P gets the value of 8 under the Chaldean, but under the modern system it gets 7. So 7 and 8 are old soul qualities, and so is the number 4. So the letter D and the letter M are old soul qualities under the Chaldean system here, and under the modern system, under the Chaldean systems, O and P, 7 and 8 respectively, are carrying that old soul quality. So now, the letter P, you're powerful. You deal with protection energies. You feel people oriented. You feel that you're one that should be striving and working with patience all the time. That's the letter P. P as in Paul. P as in Peter. P as in Priscilla. P as in patience. Some people name their children Patience. So P is a powerful energy. Think of it as a lowercase b turned upside down. Lowercase b. So that means as a letter B, it's about birthing. It's about bringing something into fruition. If you turn it on its side, maybe it's like a net, like a butterfly net, or like a spoon, you know, teaspoons, tablespoons. P then has the ability to measure power as it sees it, as it experiences it, and its potent power. Also, think of the word principle with the letter P. People who carry that first name, principle. The letter Q. The letter Q is very interesting because if we get the value of 8 under the modern system. So Q people can have a lot of power, a lot of earthy power, or they deal with the value of one. Again, power of the self. The message for Q people: have no doubt. Don't get hung up in illusions and falsehoods. Have no doubt. Do not doubt yourself. That's very important. I remember going to school with a gentleman by the name of Quintrell. Very powerful guy. He was a well likable guy too. He always brought a lot of wisdom. He had a lot of power when he spoke. He had a very good voice when he sang. He sang in the high school choir and I believe in the glee clubs and in grade school. But he was a well liked personality. So people with the letter Q, Q can question. Q is curiosity, but Q has a sweetness about it. And Q sees completion like the letter O, but likes to share what it is drawing into itself or giving out of itself. The letter R. R are strong-willed people. They get the value of 9 under the modern method of numerology, like the letter I, so they got that solar energy going for them. And under the Chaldean, they got that 2 or lunar energy going for them. Now, we want to give some colors here. We get the blue greens with the O's. With the letter P says power, I give it like red, or it could be the southwestern red out here, cherry red, or spirit red. The letter Q, since you have no doubt for you, I'm going to give you white. I see white and then just clear light. The letter R, I'm going to give you the golden orange color. Orange and the gold at the same time, and red. Orange, gold, and red. So it means you are a receiver of energy. You can regenerate energy. You can rejuvenate yourself. You're all about immortality, how to get there and how to stay there. You're looking for like the elixir of youth. You're trying to get there. You're trying to get that remedy. See, there it is, our remedy. So you understand medicines, different medicinal sides. Maybe you're thinking of Western medicine study or going into Eastern medical study or going into the shamanic side, getting down there and getting deep with the earth and the roots itself. What is unique here, if we step into the letter S, under the modern system it gets 1, under Chaldean it gets 3. Something told me for S people, because the S side is the breakout energy of the K. K, think of K like Kundalini, the philosophical side of the Kundalini. S is the serpentine dance of that, just like that group we used to hear, Earth, Wind, and Fire, the serpentine power. So there's the Kundalini, the movement of it, the spiraling, coiling energy. And it has the generating the 2 coils of energy, one being positive or magnetic, and one being electrical, outgoing energy. One representing the lunar force, one representing the sun. In the Hindu traditions of the yogic studies, Ida and Pingala. Pingala, Pingala, and Ida. One of them is solar and one of them is lunar energy. But it says pay attention to this energy because it can move swiftly. Once it ignites something, there's a breakthrough. So pay attention to how your life is and how you are living your life. Now let's step in to the last 7 letters. T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. We almost thought this was going to be a short program. We had a little longer program. But we take in the letter T. Now, Spirit said for me to tell you, Spirit of the higher self, the Holy Spirit, under the modern method, T is 2. Partnership energy. Now look at it. It's like 2 L's back to back, standing on the stem. So it's showing you the T can reverse itself and go 90 degrees or 180 degrees. 90 degrees, so it can deal with opposites. People like Thomas, Teresa, can deal with opposites. They understand how opposites, polar opposites work. Timothy, Trudy's, they understand how that works. Thomas and Tom. Tony, short for Anthony, understands that, you see. So, what you want to pay attention to under the Chaldean side is 4. Just like the letter D, it can unlock a door. So you might think of it as a key. You ever remember those keys that shaped like a T with the bar coming out, and it had a little bump on the end? Those are like the roller skate keys. Back in my day, back in the 50s and the 40s, I'm not born in the 40s, but I'm back there in the 50s, they had the roller skate key. You can unlock the wheels and take them off the foot part of the roller skate, and then you can put them on and then lock it into place. You could stretch out the roller skates, which were made out of metal, with this hard cork wheels, right? And then you could expand the sole part so that you could fit your foot in there. Okay, so think of T. T could be a crossroads. Okay, like the letter X is a crossroads. T, though, is the ability to deal with things that are the same or opposite or adjacent to each other, like a T-bar or like a T-square. You've seen the T-square, right? The person has the bar, and then they can measure and draw and do whatever they need to do. So here it says, do and act. Trust, meaning having faith, the nature of T. T are like your foot soldiers. They understand how things work, and they work according to what they see. Now, that means there's no more testing. You don't have to test yourself, and you don't have to test others. The letter U. The letter U under the modern system is 3. It's like that cup. The letter C. I said if you turn the C on its arc side, it's like a cup, like the U. That means it's gathering, it's holding, it's like an urn, it's a vessel, it's holding on to information, holding on to energy that can be utilized to give sustenance to nourish. Okay, under the Chaldean system is the value of 6. So the U personality can be an individual who's working out in the social plateau, in the family plateau, in the business, financial world, can be in the banking world if they want, can be in the art world, it can be the business side of entertainment if that person so chooses. The letter U's, though, they are the vessels. They are the vessels of spirituality, truth, metaphysical things. They understand how those things come together, and they're open to gather, to reach, and to receive. If you have the letter W, W is like two V's together. See the W? So V is also the value of 6. I'm putting them both together. 6 or V means to live your truth. Live your truth. V has the value in the modern system of 4, and W has 5. So 4 and 5 deals with change. 4 is slow and abrupt changes. 5 is smooth changes, things that move fast. 5 vibration is communication and freedom. So W has some kind of connection to the U, dealing with family, but it also deals with memory. Yeah, it also deals with communication, freedom of speech, freedom of movement. W, though, says the message for W is open yourself up to greater understanding. Understanding of yourself, and then understanding of others. It is essential for W to open yourself up to understand. Self-understanding is very good, and then apply the self to others. How do you connect with other people? So, here W's are wills, which is short. The short side of will is a bill. Usually they'll have those connections. Or Wilhelm. Wilhelm. Will and helmet. Strength. Strong will. Strong mind. Okay. V, as in Vera. Okay. Vera's. Then there's people with the name Victoria. Okay. A V sound, like the W, can gather. V is like the cup part of champagne. It sees it, it tastes life, and it gives back to life. So see that as being that. Receive and to give back to life. W can receive it twice and give back twice. W is that energy, that sine wave energy. And S is that too if you turn it on its side. Okay, and then what's the other sine wave? Is the M. M is also the sine wave. Up and down, up and down. Up and down for W. and down and up. So it's given both that come together. So W's are reflections of M's. So that means that W personalities can be nurturers and should work at the nurturing side of themselves to bring the feeling, to bring the emotional energy to the surface. Now, also, we have X. Now, X is very unique because under the modern system, X is a sixth foundation like letter. Six in family, crossroads, partnerships, business agreements. Think of people carrying that name, Xavier. I used to think, boy, that's powerful. Xavier University. Xavier. That's like a powerful name. People, and here has an X, but the X takes on a Z. So one of the things is X and Z's have a vibration that bring them together too. Under the Chaldean, the X should be a one vibration there, and this is the gift of partnership. The gift of partnership comes with the letter X. They know how to partner themselves up with people for business, people for social, people for family, long-term arrangements, and know how to partner themselves up with the earth. So they make that quality, the four directions. Now, the way the S is written, we don't get it like this, we get it like this. So it's the not the cardinal, but we're looking at X knows how to deal with what? Northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. That's the energy that the X personality is dealing with. Not only is X is dealing with the cardinal directions, but it deals with that diagonal energy all at the same time. Then we have the letter Y. Y has a stem. It's a V with a stem on it. Transformation. Beauty, harmony, and transformation. Beauty, harmony, and transformation. A brown, a transmutation, can deal with that energy and change it and become something even more beautiful than what it was before. So there's power of change. The letter Y knows that. It gets the value of one. So someone who has that would be like named Yvonne, okay, with a Y. Yvette with a Y. These are personalities, Yolanda with a Y. These are people who can transform and transmute any condition that they find themselves in. So if they're dealing with negativity, they can move through it. So this is the key. People with the letter V, if you think of the letter Y connected to your V, then you have the ability to transform and transmute energy to make a change and make it for the better. In other words, don't get stuck in a rut. Those of you that have M, U, V, and W, don't get stuck in a rut. The letter Z, think of it like the H or the letter I, but the spine is now on an angle. And what do you get out of that? If you flip that letter with that on the angle, either way you flip it, what you get like the letter N almost, and then you can see the letter N. If you straighten out that line in between the upper and the lower, then you have the letter I, and if you flip it over, you got a letter H. So I, capital H, is got a connection to capital N, which also then has what? A connection in there too to the W's and the M's and the V's. Is all hidden in there, right? So the letter Z is 7. Under the modern method, it's an 8. Under the Chaldean, it's a 7. So it's let yourself be in conjunction with, let yourself connect with the divine. Letter Z, lightning bolt. That means you're catching energy and transferring that energy to earth. But you're doing it on an angle, which means what? You're kind of lessening the impact of that energy. Well, the letter A is just getting it right very dynamically, but Z is also getting that energy too, but it's taking that energy to different sources. Not necessarily direct, but to different sources. But the letter Z is also very dynamic at the same time. Again, it's under the Chaldean, it's a 7, and under the modern, it's an 8. It's an old soul quality. It deals with the old vibrational energies of spirit, infinite old. very mature, very wise. It's like the grandparent energy of the earth and the heavens. All right, well, I'm going to stop right there. I'm going about 58 minutes. Instead of a 30-minute show, we got almost an hour. I want to thank you for those of you that did tune in. There were one or two people that came by. We hope you get an opportunity to see this later. Um, you probably came in up to the letter D or E or F, but there's a lot more potent information that came out. Well, the Circle Grace 1, I'll be here. I should be here next Monday, somewhere between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you want to get in touch with me, email me at iam.circleofgrace1@yahoo.com or iam, that's the letters iam.circlegrace1@gmail.com, or Bishop Francis, BISHOP FRANCIS @circlegrace1.net. You can go to my circlegrace1.net, www.circlegrace1.net, go to the contact page and leave a comment, and I'll get it. Or you could type it in as www.circlegrace1.net. Get that information just the same. You can call me on my Skype number, 973-685-5978, or you can call my spiritual prayer meditational decree request line, which is 505-717-4722. Listen to a 2-minute, almost 2-minute meditational decree, then leave your message. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. This is the Circle of Grace 1. Take care. See you next time.